Let's nail down aircraft primary flight controls once and for all. Aircraft flight control systems consist of primary and secondary systems. The ailerons, elevator, and rudder constitute the primary control system and are required to control an aircraft safely during flight. On the other hand, wing flaps, leading edge devices, spoilers, and trim systems constitute the secondary control system and improve the performance characteristics of the airplane or relieve the pilot of excessive control forces. I will leave these secondary flight controls for future lessons. In this video, let's focus on primary flight controls. In order to perfectly learn about the flight controls and their effects on flight, you first need to know what center of gravity is. Center of gravity, or CG, of an aircraft is simply the point where the aircraft would balance. Imagine trying to balance a plane in your hand, like you do for a pencil. The exact point where you can balance the aircraft in all three dimensions is the center of the gravity of an aircraft. It's the point about which the aircraft will rotate. Now, with this said, if you somehow apply any force away from the CG, then the aircraft will rotate about its CG. The CG is more like a fulcrum point, if you will, and the farther away the force is from the CG, the less force it is required to rotate. It's basic physics. Okay, now that you know the aircraft rotates about the center of gravity, let's make the three axes, which we all know of, about the center of gravity so that it would be easier to understand. The three axes are named longitudinal axis, lateral axis, and vertical or normal axis. These names are pretty important for your exams and even for the overall knowledge. But it's easy to remember. Along the length, longitudinal axis. Along the width, lateral axis. And along the height, vertical axis. With these information in mind, the flight controls and how they work are a piece of cake. Let's start with ailerons. Why ailerons? Cause it will be easy later, believe me. And also cause it will be in alphabetical order. Anyways, the ailerons are the flight control surfaces at the outboard trailing edge of each wing and move in opposite direction from each other. If the one side goes up, then the other side will go down, and vice versa. This will create different lift forces in each wings. The one with the aileron down will have increased lift, and the one with ailerons up will have reduced lift. Now we have up and down acting forces and away from the center of the gravity. The net effect? The aircraft will roll. That is to say, it will rotate about its longitudinal axis. It's easy, isn't it? And if you don't know, how does the up and down movement of aileron cause the lift forces to increase or reduce? First, watch this video on aerodynamics forces in flight. It's the